Here are today's top stories. Malacanang says the amnesty of Senator Antonio Trillanes is invalid because it was approved by the wrong authority. The House of Representatives passes a second tax reform package on third and final reading. The Department of Agriculture assures that rice prices are expected to stabilize by November. And a Pinoy player bags a silver and bronze medal in the ethnic sport of sungka in the World Nomad Games. Good day. I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Philippine Coast Guard has alerted its districts and stations in northern and central Luzon to brace for the possible effects of Super Typhoon Mangkhut, which is expected to enter Philippine waters on Wednesday, September 12. PCG Commandant Admiral Elson Hermogino directed all district commanders and personnel in areas expected to be hit by the super typhoon to prepare to respond during emergency situations. All types of inter-island vessels are prohibited from sailing in the areas where public storm signals will possibly be hoisted by Pag-asa. Meanwhile, the riding public is advised to check with their shipping companies for the possible cancellation of their trips, especially those traveling to northern Luzon, southern Tagalog, and nearby provinces. The Coast Guard is coordinating with Philippine Ports Authority to provide for passengers who will be stranded in ports because of the typhoon. The Supreme Court has denied Senator Antonio Trillanes' petition for a temporary restraining order against a proclamation invalidating his amnesty. The SC ordered Malacanang, the Department of National Defense, Department of Justice, PNP, and AFP to answer the senator's petition within 10 days. It says the Makati Regional Trial Court, where the DOJ filed petitions for Trillanes' arrest warrant and whole departure order, have jurisdiction over his case. The High Court also reiterated President Rodrigo Duterte's statement that there will be no military arrest for Trillanes. Meanwhile, Trillanes praised the Supreme Court's decision, saying that the High Court has proved its independence. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara also acknowledged the trial court's jurisdiction over the senator's case. The House of Representatives on Monday approved on final reading the Trabajo Bill, which aims to lower corporate income taxes and modernize incentives. From the current base rate of 30%, the administration's second tax reform package seeks to gradually lower corporate income tax to 20% by 2029. House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Dakila Kua says the Trabajo Bill does not impose new taxes, but instead aims to create more jobs by attracting the right set of investors. He said lowering the corporate income tax would provide a big relief to the country's small and medium enterprises. Kua said the Trabajo Bill would also modernize the country's tax incentives regime, which will be biased to development outside urban areas. The bill was approved on second reading on September 4. The amnesty of Senator Antonio Trillanes is deemed void not only because President Rodrigo Duterte invalidated it, but because it was signed by the wrong authority. More on this from Rom Dulfo.
The amnesty given to Senator Antonio Trillanes IV was invalid from the start since it was signed by former Defense Secretary Voltaire Gazmin and not by former President Benigno Aquino III. Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo says he saw a document addressed to Aquino which showed that Gazmin was authorized to approve and grant amnesty to Trillanes. Panelo stressed, under the Constitution, the power to grant amnesty as well as pardon is exclusive to the President and cannot be given to others. Panelo meanwhile adds Trillanes' subsequent acts like seditious words against the President and the Duterte government is another ground to declare the senator's amnesty void ab initio. Trillanes has been accusing the government as well as Mr. Duterte of initiating extrajudicial killings or EJKs, among others. For his part, Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque concurred that only the President has the prerogative to grant amnesty. He adds, Gazmin may be charged with usurpation of authority if it was proven that he and not former President Aquino who granted amnesty to Trillanes.
The President's belief as a lawyer is that an amnesty must be personally granted by the President, it cannot be further delegated to other officials. No? It is a presidential prerogative, so the position of the president is that only the president should have signed the order of amnesty.
For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, or CBCP, assures that it will not take any part in any destabilization plot against the government. Father Jerome Siciliano of the CBCP says the church is not in the habit of participating in the destabilization and toppling of administrations. Siciliano added that he cannot say if such a plan exists, though the church will not participate in such plots. He also noted that the church is not an enemy but a partner of the government. He lauded President Rodrigo Duterte's policies on certain issues, including the closure of Boracay and cutting down red tape. The Department of National Defense earlier said it is already looking into intelligence reports of destabilization plot against the president. Still to come, the Department of Agriculture assures that rice prices are expected to stabilize by November. Police and residents stop an attempted bombing in Maguindanao. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa direktang utos ni TFBM Chairman Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario, nagkaroon ng upgrade ng mga tinutuluyang tents ang mga IDP sa Sarimanok Tent City sa Marawi. Layunin ng TFBM na maging komportable at ligtas para sa mga natitirang bakwit na pansamantalang tumutuloy sa Tent City. Ayon kay Juanito Sayago Jr. ng TFBM Field Office,
nagkaroon kasi ng directive si Secretary Del Rosario na tutulong sa technical aspect ang IOM. So nandito din sila ngayon para mag-supervise nitong project. So nagkaroon ng camp coordination, camp management na workshop. Then after sa workshop, sa assessment, nakita na after more than 3 months na nandito ang mga IDPs natin sa Sarimanok, yung mga tents nila kailangan meron ng repairs. So nagkaroon ng meeting headed by yung Task Force Bangon Marawi, Field Office, then coordination din sa City LGU ng Marawi, then with IOM, nagtawag ng isang CCCM cluster meeting, nagkaroon ng commitments.
Sa ginanap na camp coordination meeting, napansin ng pamunuan ng task force na kailangan ng palitan ang mga tents sa kadahilanang kinakitaan nito ng mga sira. Nagpatawag ng cluster meeting ang DFBM kasama ang LGU Marawi at IOM. Sa nasabing pagpupulong ay inako ng DSWD Region 12 ang 227 na bagong tents para sa Site 1 and 2 ng Sarimanok Tent City at Cash for Work, habang nag-ambag naman ang OCD ng mga kinakailangang insulators upang di gaanong maramdaman ang init sa loob ng tent. Karagdagang materyales naman gaya ng tie wire, pako at iba pa ang donasyon naman ng DSWD Region 12 para sa proyektong ito. Bawat pamilya ay may isang representante para sa Cash for Work ng DSWD. Samantala, ang LGU Marawi ay namigay ng materyales para makapagtayo ng dirty kitchen. Naglaan ng espasyo sa bawat tent para sa munting lutuan upang mas ligtas ang ating mga kapatid na bakwit. Ang proyektong ito ay matagumpay na pinagtulong-tulungan ng OCD, CDRRMO, DSWD Region 10 and 12, IOM, LGU Marawi sa pamumuno ng Task Force Bangon Marawi. Malaki naman ang pasasalamat ni Suhair Makapundag Saripada Jr. ng West Marinaot, kasalukuyang naninirahan sa Sarimanok Tent City.
Masaya kami kay napalitan yung tent namin para hindi mapasukan ng ulan, at saka yung may binago sa tent namin yung dinagdag nila yung insulator para hindi mainit.
Para sa bayan, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
The price of rice is expected to stabilize by November with the onset of the harvest season as well as the arrival of overdue rice imports. Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol says the additional supply from the harvest season that will continue until December would bring the prices down. Piñol said the current market prices are not due to a shortage of the staple. He pointed out that the delayed importation of rice as well as the delay of the arrival of imports led to speculations that drove the prices higher. The agriculture chief also blamed rice cartels which are taking advantage of the said delay. Piñol will recommend placing a price ceiling on basic commodities.
October pa lang, last year, nagre-request na yung NFA na mag-i-import sila ng NFA rice. Na-delay po. Hindi na bigyan ng go signal. Nung mawala yung NFA rice sa merkado, nag-speculate na po, tumaas yung presyo ng commercial rice. Na-delay din po yung importation ng private sector which was supposed to arrive during the lean months, July and August.
Police and civilians filed a bombing attempt in Datu Odin, Sinsuat, Maguindanao, preventing what could have been a bloody market day for local residents. ARMM Police Director Chief Superintendent Graciano Mejares says market vendors spotted the black motorcycle suspiciously parked in front of the town's police office. Bomb experts confirmed it was rigged with an improvised explosive device or IED. Mijares believes the IED was to be set off early Monday when people are busy in the nearby market. Police and military forces have been on heightened alert since the twin bombings in Sultan Kudarat that killed 5 and injured 48 others.
This is Business Matters, and with us is the president of the Philippine Amalgamated Supermarkets Association, otherwise known as PAG-ASA, Mr. Steven Gua. Steve, welcome back.
Hi.
Okay, let's talk about a topic that is very near and dear to the hearts of the people at the DTI and the DA. The SRPs, Suggested Retail Prices. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for the industry?
It's a bad thing for the industry, of course, right? Because you're regulating unnecessarily, okay? Because prices keep us in check. Competition keeps us in check, okay? A little history about SRP.
Okay.
Okay. There was a time wherein there were calamities in the countryside, and some retailers probably abused by selling limited items which are scarce at a high price. We're talking even candles, we're talking sardines, okay? And so DTI had to go out and probably apprehend these retailers.
And because of that, it ruined the idea of SRP for everyone.
Correct. Because SRPs are supposed to be meant for times of calamity or emergency, right?
Okay. So even without the SRP, I mean, I think practically every country has an SRP in one form or the other. But if you were to remove SRP altogether, you're telling us that the power of competition alone will get you guys in check.
Definitely. SRPs are used by manufacturers because manufacturers come up with their products and then they want to sell their product at a particular price on the shelves of all supermarkets, if possible. But because there's free, our economy is free enterprise, right? So we can decide on how much we want to sell an item, not because we want to make more money, but because we have to cover certain costs of operation, which is different for every supermarket, right?
In some cases, the supermarket industry sells at a lower price than the wet markets, but there are certain products where you can buy cheaper at the wet markets.
Wet markets sell fresh produce, which will spoil at the end of the day if you don't sell them off.
Yes.
So they will have to lower the prices. So you get the feeling that it's cheaper, but you have to shop them when they're not as fresh as they are supposed to be. Whereas in supermarkets, prices are relatively steady. We don't change price in the morning and in the afternoon for a certain item, right? It's the same price all the time. Now, for grocery items, canned goods, the wet market buys from us to sell to the people. So if you buy them more expensively at the wet market, it's okay. They don't make a lot of money anyway, right? I mean, how much do they sell in a day, right? But it gives you convenience since you're already there for the fresh produce.
Okay, and that was Business Matters. I am Miguel Hill.
Up next, the town of Mina, Ilocos honors the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. A Pinoy player wins medals in the ethnic sport of Sungka in the World Nomad Games. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders. The government is preparing for the onslaught of a potential super typhoon that is expected to enter the country on Wednesday. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana gave the assurance, noting that the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council has activated the National Emergency Response System. Lorenzana adds that officials from the barangay level upwards have been trained on what to do once a typhoon strikes. Malacanang earlier urged the public to stock on food and supplies and secure their belongings and be alert in preparation for the typhoon. Pagasa says the typhoon, which will bear the local name Ompong, will directly affect Luzon and bring heavy rains in the rest of the country. The local government of Mina, Iloilo has bestowed a posthumous award to the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago for her outstanding achievements in the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government. The late senator had a colorful political career as she was able to work in all three branches of the Philippine government. Ilongos mourned her death on September 29, 2016 due to stage 4 lung cancer. Santiago was recognized as among the outstanding achievers of her hometown during Sunday evening's award program in line with the municipality's 50th founding anniversary. 3rd District Board member Lawrence Defensor, Santiago's nephew, received the award. In his speech, Mayor Ray Grabato said that the achievers brought pride and honor to the people of Mina and served as inspiration to future generations. The Meralco Bolts are representing the Philippines in the FIBA Asia Championships Cup from September 27 to October 2nd. This after FIBA Secretary General Patrick Baumann himself requested to have a PBA team play in the tournament against some of the top pro basketball clubs in Asia. Meralco will go up against the respective defending champions of the Chinese Basketball Association, the Korean Basketball League, and P-League. Liaoning will represent the CBA, Alvar Tokyo will raise the B-League banner, and Seoul, South Korea will represent the KBL. Also joining are Taiwanese League champ Paoyan Archeland, Iranian League champ Petrochimi, Lebanese League champ Al Riyadi, and defending champion of the Champions Cup and ASEAN Basketball League runner-up Mono Vampire. Most Filipinos probably regard sungka simply as a traditional indoor game, while in fact it is a sport that draws in competitors from around the world. The Philippines has made itself known in the field of sungka as a representative, bagged medals in the recent World Nomad Games. Janice Cave has this report.
The Philippines may have sent only one player to this year's World Nomad Games, but the lone delegate will go home with 2 medals. Ron Palmera scored a silver and a bronze for the country during his stint in the said biennial meet over the weekend in Kyrgyzstan. Palmera took the silver in the Togu Score Gold event, which is Kyrgyzstan's own take of Mangkala, or locally known as Sungka. He also captured the bronze in the Yakushan Intellectual Table Games. Palmera, an architecture graduate of Manuel L. Quezon University, called on Filipinos to continue supporting Sungka as one of the country's favorite traditional games. He believes that in a world of technology that is more into mobile and console games, Filipinos have a big potential in an intellectual game such as Sungka. The World Nomad Games was established in 2012 as an international competition dedicated to the revival and preservation of ethnic sports and the nomadic culture in Central Asia. The next games will be held in Turkey in 2020. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories. Malacanang says the amnesty of Senator Antonio Trillanes is invalid because it was approved by the wrong authority. The House of Representatives passes the second tax reform package on third and final reading. The Department of Agriculture assures that rice prices are expected to stabilize by November. And a Pinoy player bags a silver and bronze medal in the ethnic sport of Sungka in the World Nomad Games. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.